Hello friends, my name is Emily and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing some planning. So I plan out my time in a bullet journal. I did start out this year with a future log. Unfortunately, I've never done a future log before, so I made mine really small. In the future, I will be making this much bigger so that I can actually fill in future dates. But in the meantime, I have just purchased a cheap agenda that is just calendars, and so this gives me the ability to move forward in the year and plot out dates, especially with the podcast and with some of the larger video series that I'm working on. I wanted to be able to future plan effectively. So what I do for planning is I have a large overview calendar for this week. We are looking at the 8th to the 14th. And so the things that I have in here already committed to is filming. I've got 2 days off from work here, so I figure I am going to block off the majority of this day for filming. On this day I work and I have dance in the evening, but I have the day in the middle. On the 11th I work, and then on the 12th I have the recording of the double podcast episodes and a knit night. On the Saturday, I have a Women's Concert of Canada. The first thing that I do is I plot out my events and tasks. So this is just a layout that I prefer. Obviously, you do not have to do this. You could buy a pre-prepared agenda to worry about this, but I like having control over this. This setup allows me to put events and tasks so I can sort of see what's happening and then create task lists for the days. The reason that I like this is because it allows me, well, the reason I like the bullet journal in general is because it allows me to take up as much or as little space as I want. So right now I'm finding this task list really useful because I put more detailed task lists in my subject specific notebooks. So like in my thing, I might have like WSC podcast to-do list, and then I have my to-do list specifically in my subject notebook. So this is working for now, but if I want to be more, like if I want more space, I have done this setup in the past. So if I'm not working out of specific project notebooks, I will draw it in such a way so that I have more space. Like this guy, I didn't have anything planned for the Sunday, so I made them small, but if I wanted them bigger, I could have made it bigger. Like it's literally as much space as you want, as much or as little, right? Like it's totally up to you. So right now this is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the large calendar overview and fill in the days here. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill in my work schedule. And I am going to fill in my dance lessons. I also have a Veda calendar. So I did miss a day just because of how busy these two were. Little Mermaid discussion should be going up momentarily. It's rendering right now. So tomorrow, Monday, we have to edit and post this plan with me. We are filming Monday. Okay, so we're filming both days, which means that we have to plan what we want to film here. So I think I am going to film a reading vlog because I have to get these 2 books read for the podcast. And what we are going to be, oh, this is like really far away. So what we are going to be reading, so for WSC, it's my week for social media, so I'm going to post. I am going to read. Looking ahead, so if I can get these read, I think it would be a good idea. So in here is podcast recording. So Thursday would be a good day to edit let's see. That is how I've set my to-do list for now. So I know going into tomorrow what I want to accomplish. Now I will add to this list. And I do like to have the to-do list for the next day done the day before. So like I would look at this list of what I accomplished. So I did this. All I had scheduled for today was to film the plan with me because I decided I deserve some time off. With that, I have been reading for the podcast. But what I missed was on Saturday, because I stayed up so late seeing all of the plays at the festival, I slept in. So I didn't have time to research. So I'm going to move that forward to here. Research a live show because that has been requested by one of my patrons. I'm going to look into seeing what I need for that. So I've moved that forward as well. And then I just have some space for any incidentals that show up. But these are the main things that I want to accomplish, right? Monday, Tuesday are days off work. They're going to be filming days. They're going to be admin days. And then anything else that's left will be squeaked in. This day is really booked. But these two have potential. I just want to maximize my time here to the fullest. So that is how I use a overview calendar of big events to plan to-do lists. This is how my planning has been working right now. It works for me. And I feel like also the big thing is looking at the time that I have and bulking up days where there's empty space, right? Like it would be foolish to take this day where there's like 30 minutes of commute and then I think Bailey has to be at school teaching by 2, so we have from 10 to 2 to record podcasts and then from 2 to 6, so it's 4 hours. It would be foolish to try and cram a full day's worth of work into this day, right? So it's looking at the time that you have free and developing to-do lists that are manageable in the time that you have. So on this day, I do have to respond to all of my YouTube comments, right? So that is something that I could do and save this full day for bigger tasks, right? So that is how I am planning right now. This is how I am sort of working to achieve my goals. Again, keeping in mind like hard deadlines, like things that I have to do, and making manageable to-do lists within set deadlines, right? So like my soft deadline for myself for the final edit of Carmen is the 19th, but it's not really due till the 27th, right? So I'm striving for this date, giving myself a full week's worth of wiggle room, just in case something really terrible happens. I don't know, my computer explodes. Do you know what I mean? That gives us 7 days to figure it out. So I've set myself soft deadlines so that my larger deadlines will hopefully be met. I'm building myself in wiggle room and room for error. I find that has always been a very successful strategy for me. Like in essay planning, in anything like that during school, if you set yourself a soft deadline and work towards the fake deadline, you will always have time to meet the actual deadline. So that brings us to the end of this plan with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patron Stephanie for suggesting that I use Veda as an opportunity to try out this sort of non-bookish content. And thank you to my patrons for making videos like this and other long-form content possible. Thank you for making it possible for me to play and try new things and support me in this. Let me know your thoughts on planning in the comments down below. How do you keep track of the stuff that you do? And if you liked what you saw here today and you would like me to do something more like this, like a planning update later in the week, because this is Veda and I will be endeavoring to make a video every day, I could attempt to sort of update you on this to-do list and show you how this is working each day if that is something that you're interested in. So yeah, chat with me. Bye! Well, this is awkward. How do planner people end their videos? Ugh.